Cene is going to take us on this journey, where it's been and where it's going.
They had a little stage stop store here, and this is where they settled. It was called Fulton Wells at the time.
You know, I was waiting over there for around 30 minutes and no stagecoach showed up.
We're about 100 years too late.
This area right here fascinates me because you have a pulse on what used to be here. And that history just excites me to no end. Right here, was it your grandparents or great-grandparents?
My grandmother's grandparents, my great-great-grandparents.
They actually had a store right here.
They had a little stage stop store here.
How cool is that? And that store hung around for a long time, right?
Yes, it evolved. It had a post office added. It became a cafe, and the cafe expanded and had a bar added to it. And it lasted, I think, into the 70s or 80s.
Whatever happened to it?
It was demolished
for
business expansion.
Oh, see, and here I wore my Western getup over here to be a part of. I'm waiting for that stagecoach, and it just didn't happen today, did it?
It's not going to happen again.
Now, your family heritage dates back to the 1700s, right? 1800s
right.
That you can go back to, and your grandparents actually they were on the Oregon Trail.
Well, my great-great-grandparents traveled from Iowa to Oregon to Southern California and had two other stops, and this is where they settled. It was called Fulton Wells at the time.
Wait a minute. Santa Fe Springs was Fulton Wells.
Yes.
Wow.
Dr. Fulton had a mineral baths here because of the sulfur water coming off the top of the oil fields before they realized it was an oil field.
Okay.
So he had a hotel a block or so down the road where people would come out by stage to take the mineral baths that was the sulfur water.
And back in those days, that would have been like a really cutting edge thing, wouldn't it?
Apparently considered good for your health.
Yeah.
To take a sulfur bath.
Okay. So, and the other thing is this, if they were told to come out here, or they did come out here, this wasn't the 4-lane highway that it is today.
It would have been a 2-lane dirt road.
2-lane dirt road. So even though we kind of think that tree is where the store would have been, it might have been just a little further out because it was 2 lanes.
Could have been out because it was just a 2-lane road.
Okay, and they came on their Ferraris and their Chevys, and right?
They came on buggies and horseback.
This was all horseback back in those days.
All horseback.
This all predates any kind of vehicles. That's what's really cool.
No motorized vehicles.
No, none whatsoever. Okay, so we're standing on the corner of
Norwalk and Telegraph.
Norwalk and Telegraph. But in those days, that wasn't called Norwalk and that wasn't called Telegraph. What was it called?
Well, Telegraph Road was Anaheim Telegraph Road, and it was the stage route from Los Angeles going out to Anaheim. And Norwalk Boulevard was called the North Walk. And it would have connected people traveling, or the Indians traveling from the San Gabriel Valley to get down to the ocean, to the coast.
So
And people traveling from the ocean coming up this way.
So the pictures that I have seen is, this was all, at that time it was like, orchards? And this road actually cut through the orchards.
All of this area was planted into orchards. That's how people expected to earn their living, was by farming primarily orchards, and there were some vineyards also.
Okay. So when we're talking orchards, citrus, I would imagine, right?
Primarily citrus.
Yeah.
My grandparents also planted walnuts, plums, peaches, other fruit trees.
Okay. Now their property was, I don't know, I'm so
It's southwest
twisted.
from here.
Southwest from here, so we're going that way.
Right.
Right? Right where the Hathaway Ranch Museum is at, that's where the property is at, and expanded from there. So we have the fact that we got this road that's coming through here. When did all this change?
Well, it evolved over time. The farming was the first business, and as the farming was phased out, it became commercial and industrial. But what really changed this area was when oil was discovered about 1920, 21. The sheep herders were having problems with oil, this sticky stuff in their pastures where the sheep are grazing, and the first wells then were drilled at about 1921. And that radically changed this area. It forced all the homeowners out because of the fires and the mud and the development of the oil field that was here.
So they actually had to clean the area up with those oil fields in order for this to become a habitable place again.
Well, it gradually got cleaned up, partly because they pumped enough oil that the oil was depleted. And now they have to use special techniques to get what oil is left out of the ground. But for a small period of time, or a matter of months almost, this was the biggest producing field in the world.
Wow.
In the early 20s.
So the history that this place has is beyond belief. The history that the Hathaway family and their descendants is simply remarkable. And we're so looking forward to bringing all this information and sharing their life with you. You're going to appreciate the fact of everything that is around here. So that's pretty cool. I look forward to doing that.
Thank you. I look forward to it too.